There is no Advent reading, actually, because Christmas is past. But I do want to talk about Christmas. And the exhortation this morning is a reminder that I have to give myself every year, and that is to live on December 26th as joyfully as we did on December 25th, December 26th and beyond. So what is it about Christmas that gives us such joy, that brings such joy? I would say that it's the newness of life on Christmas. This feeling of beginnings and newness is really what Christmas brings that makes it a time where it's easy to be joyful. And I think that's the gifts that we get, because think about it, the next day after you get the gifts, you still have the gifts, but they're not as, if you remember being a kid, you're not as excited about them the day after Christmas for some reason. After you unwrap them, all the mystery and the newness of the gifts has gone away. And then as soon as Christmas is over, all of your family, whoever you are gathered around, is ready to go home. You know, it's like the latter part of the holiday after Christmas is over, whereas before Christmas, you're building up to something and something new, and then everything kind of gets depressing after that. So newness of life goes away after Christmas on December 26th. New gifts lose their mystery, just like when you're in a new relationship, your relationship loses the initial spark eventually. If you're in a new job and you have a lot of motivation right away, then you all of a sudden just have lost all motivation in your job. We can get depressed when it comes winter time versus spring and summer time when things feel new. And a lot of us get depressed at night versus in the morning when you wake up fresh and renewed. Although some of us are night people, and night makes us feel alive. But that's wrongly ordered, I think. God is always doing something new through his eternally youthful spirit. And he will always be doing something new, even in the eternal state. So even in the eternal state where we are present with the Lord forever in bodily form, we will, despite not having pain and suffering, be doing new things. It's not going to be just boring time. If you're worried about being bored in eternity, you're like the caterpillar who's worried that life as a butterfly is going to be dull and cumbersome. I really like the freedom that I have right now to, spread my wings, said the caterpillar. That's funny to us because we could see that life after being a caterpillar is actually much more interesting, flying about. Or maybe you're the caterpillar who wants to liquefy and go into the chrysalis right now, and you want to enter into that eternal state because you've lost that feeling that Christmas brings of newness. And even Christmas itself doesn't feel new to you anymore. You've lost sight of what it was like to be a kid and to be looking forward to the newness of Christmas. Christmas is for you no longer magical. And that's the word I heard a lot this Christmas. People kept saying the word magical, that we want to bring magic back through Christmas, and Christmas feels magical. If you've lost that feeling that you had as a kid, if Christmas doesn't cause you to experience that childlike wonder that you once had, you need to be reminded that the real world is magical. I'll never get tired of saying that Julie's literally growing a person in her right now. Like if that's not magic, I don't know what is. And when she comes out, she'll take a breath, and then oxygen will fill up in her lungs, and how her heart used to function will completely reverse, and she'll be fit to live in this world after that with her first breath. And then she'll drink milk that she specifically ordered and that Julie can specifically make based on her order. And then basically you feed them chicken nuggets and they grow up into adults. And so this is a world where we grow and live by eating dead things. We can speak, she'll learn to speak eventually, and we can hear and understand each other based on these vibrations. Basically, Julie, correct me if I'm wrong, but air passes through your lungs, through vibrating vocal cords, and your tongue, lips, and mouth shape the sound into words. That's what happens. And then the person hearing it, their ear catches the sound waves, turns them into vibrations, and converts them into signals that the brain understands as sounds. That's what happens when you hear things. When you see things, your eye captures light and focuses it in your retina, and then it sends signals to your brain, and actually it's upside down and backwards, and your brain needs to flip it upside down and right side up so that you can understand it and see things clearly. That's magic. Seeing and hearing is magic. The sun rises every day for light and heat, and the stars come out every night, declaring the glory and vastness of their creator. And the earth is speeding through space at Mach 86 around the sun. That's 86 times the speed of light. And way faster through the galaxy is moving through space. And this is a world, a magic world, where God became man. God became man and entered into his own creation. And so, the real world is a magical world that, though it's grown old through sin, God is making it young again because he is making all things new. With that in mind, we ought to have these three things. I'm going to give you three exhortations here. And this comes from the Code of the Elves. So there is some wisdom in elves, in Elf, the movie, where Jovi gets her name. Number one, treat every day like Christmas. Treat every day like Christmas. Even the secular world can spontaneously manifest joy on Christmas Day. They can get excited for it and be joyful on Christmas Day, but only the Christian living out the Christmas story in his life can experience that joy on December 26th and beyond and be the actual possessor of that joy. So treat every day like it's Christmas. There's room for everyone on the nice list. Now, Elf goes a little bit askew in its theology here. We know that God has a list that's predetermined from eternity past, and that we are elect, but on the list and chosen by God. But the thing is, we live in time, and we need to share the gospel with everybody and invite them to join in the good news, to adopt the Christmas story in their lives. And number three, the best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear. Thank you. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks, and singing comes from an overabundance of joy. And that's what we need to do. We need to sing out of joy, and we need to sing to battle against the forces of evil in the world. The real world is the real life Christmas story, playing out in real time, every day, every hour. Jesus, on the second day of his life, was no less the Messiah than he was on the Christmas day. You still have the toys that you received on Christmas Day, and they're still new, and God is still doing a new thing, and even farther along, and it gets greater and greater, not lesser and lesser. So, let's repent now of any ill feelings towards December 26th, any lack of joy in the fact that we're still living in God's world that he has redeemed through his son, and showing the world that all of life is the Christmas story.